leaders who lead, success isn't measured in promises. It's measured in results. At Rockwell Automation, our 24,000 employees across the globe focus every day on delivering business results for our customers. Because with every result achieved, we realize the promise of expanding human possibilities. That's why we're Rockwell. Our customers make products and deliver solutions that touch all of our lives. And they partner with us to realize measurable, consistent, and profitable business outcomes, delivering the real results they and their customers depend on. The people of Rockwell and our vast production technology portfolio make a real difference in industrial production quality, speed, and efficiency, making a difference in ramping up adequate supplies of life-saving vaccines, making a difference by helping deliver vehicles that are affordable, efficient, and safe, making a difference by engineering sustainability into every system and solution we deliver. Because at Rockwell, we believe better is possible. And the results we deliver add value for our customers every day, in every industry we serve. Our systems connect your company end to end with data-fueled insights, improving the decisions that deliver results and expanding human possibilities. Rockwell Automation. Results achieved.
Hello, and thank you so much for joining. We're here at Rock Live in Orlando, Florida. My name's Beth Parkinson, and I'm the Director of Marketing and Technical Enablement at Rockwell Automation. And I'm here with me today is Pete DeVriet. He's the Senior Business Development Manager at Kessler. And we're here today to talk about end-to-end traceability in the supply chain. Now, the topic of supply chain has been on the minds of both businesses and consumers, especially in the last 2 years. It's a major topic affecting all industries. And traceability is one of those topics that is really critical as part of these strategies. So Pete, thank you so much for joining me today.
My pleasure.
I think right now, everybody's trying to figure out how to deal with supply chain issues. And traceability is one of those tools that companies can use to really help those strategies and initiatives. I mean, we are not fixed. You know, it's been a topic on digital transformation as a possibility, but I just saw in the news this week that there's been a report saying in the US, we've hit a 10-year high on product recalls. So companies are struggling, getting back to normal after the pandemic. Can you talk a little bit about just baselining, what is end-to-end traceability for our audience?
Yeah, I'm happy to. So brand owners, manufacturers, factories, they have a very good understanding, a very good overview of what goes into producing their products. What processes are being used, what the energy used for it, the ingredients and all of that. They have fantastic view, mostly because of solutions like the ones provided by Rockwell Automation. But now once a product leaves the factory, surprisingly enough, not all these brands and manufacturers necessarily have that level of visibility. They don't necessarily know where their products are, where do their products go to, and what happens to them. And this is where Kessler comes into the picture. So we are a cloud-based platform, and we will then trace a product from the factory all the way to the consumers by setting up these tracking points where we will then log where that product is in its journey. Now, that gives then the brand owners and manufacturers a tremendous level of insight by learning where the products are, and then also you can confirm to the consumer if it's an authentic product. You can address issues such as gray market product diversion or black market sales or even counterfeiting. But also because you weave a digital thread all the way from the start at the factory and all that data that you have available all the way to the end of the consumer, it also helps these key executives at many of these brands to support them in their ESG efforts, which is top of mind among many of them.
Yeah, I mean, I think the environmental, social, and governance side of things, the ESG, which is, complementary to some of the strategies companies have related to sustainability and EH&S, the environmental health and safety.
Correct.
Everybody's trying to figure out how do we not only improve our businesses, but also show our customers that we're doing the right things. I don't know if folks in the audience are really active in driving traceability. We'd love to hear from you if you are, or if you're not and you're just getting started. Feel free to use those questions, put your questions or comments in that comment section. This is, like I said, a really interesting topic. And, Kessler, I think what's exciting is you guys really have the know-how of what level of the data, because, you can't use all the data. What level of the data needs to be used at different stages to provide that right insight? Can you talk to the audience a little bit more about, how does it work?
Okay. Well, we go down to the most granular level, which is essentially every single product produced gets its own digital identity, a passport, if you wish. And to that identity, we then assign basically when is the product born, when is it manufactured, and what date, and when does the product expire, if it expires. And then also, because through the many software tools Rockwell Automation makes available, we will also link things like energy used for it and so on. And then that digital thread then you weave does mean that you have these large silos of data, people like to call it, and we weave that thread through it. That does mean that you sit on a lot of data that needs to be processed and managed, and that's why our solution is actually custom or purpose built for that, to present that data about a specific product very, very quickly. So low latency for high volume, like I'm talking, we can do hundreds of millions of products, and we can tell you exactly that journey about that one specific product that the consumer has in his hands by using cloud technology and unique identifiers.
So cloud technology, doing this related to all this data, figuring out the right insights, who's using it today? Are companies actually getting to end-to-end traceability?
Absolutely. We have a joint account with Rockwell Automation called Royal FrieslandCampina, which is a very, very large dairy group from the Netherlands. And they use Kessler and Rockwell Automation to produce their infant formula product called Friso. And in addition to using our technology, FrieslandCampina also has their own very impressive upstream traceability platform. So they actually know exactly what farms the dairy comes from when they produce this formula. Now, because the markets where they sell most of their friso is in Asia, and there the markets, the consumers are extremely demanding to full transparency.
For good reasons.
Yeah,
I mean,
very, very good reasons.
There were some challenges several years ago where it really put more of a focus on that, really understanding the full digital thread of that infant formula.
Yeah. So FrieslandCampina understood that if you want to sell your product in that market, you need to verify that it's authentic, because counterfeit is a risk. The consumer has to know this is an authentic product. That's one. But then secondly, it's a premium product, and for a brand like Friso to play in that market, you need to make it as easy as possible for the consumer to learn everything they want to know about the product. So they do that by these unique codes. Consumer scans the product, they know this is where the dairy comes from, this is the last time the farms got this, checked by the local FDA, and then also this is how the product traveled here. So it's full transparency, nothing to hide, and it's that gives that confidence to the consumer to purchase the product in the first place.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting to actually look at the different industry examples, because they're quite varied across all the different industries that are affected by this. I think there's been government regulations that are driving it. Mentioned baby formula. We have some challenges right now in the US. There were in China several years ago. So more focus on this industry. And the importance of that and understanding it. I understand that some of the governments right now, EU specifically, is going even further and creating concepts around a digital passport where companies must address this in a certain process in order to meet the needs of the industry. Can you talk more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So the digital product passport is part of the EU's Green Deal initiative, where they among other things, they want to push to a more circular economy. Now, if you want to do that, if you want to know how circular is a product, you need to have a lot of information about that product available. So that's where we get to, traceability and production processes, and all that needs to be visible and accessible. And you want to have that data available about, okay, what does this product consist of? What of this can be recycled? What are other use cases for this product, and so on? That needs to be available. So this is where they have this concept of a digital product passport. Now, they are now deploying a framework for the first type of products, which will be EV batteries. Because, of course, the very nature of that product, a lot goes into making those. How can you get the most use out of them?
Well, and I think there's been concern that, okay, is it actually creating more waste if the battery is not? So understanding the life cycle is really important.
Exactly, because an EV battery's life doesn't end when it's no longer used in a car. It can be used for different purposes, and so it can be reused and reused until you're really sort of, okay, that's it, now we've used it all. And this is what the product passport would address. But it's not only going to be for EVs. We expect that very soon they will deploy this for other, which we call then high waste sectors, like fashion, clothing, consumer electronics, and furniture. All of these products are expected to have some passport, which basically helps you and the consumer and governments to get as much use out of these products as possible to make it more sustainable.
Yeah, I think sustainability and that circular economy is critical in almost every industry right now. The amount of waste around the world, we're going, wait, what are we going to do with it, right? So how can we find that second use, the third use? Also keeping consumers mindful of these practices.
Absolutely, yeah.
Do you think other governments or economies are going to follow suit with what Europe's doing with the Green Deal?
Well, mandatory. I don't know. I mean, like here in the US, I think it's in the brand's best interest to pursue similar initiatives, because the American consumer ranks above average when it comes to sustainability being a key driver in their purchasing habits. So the average American consumer actually cares quite a lot about that and wants to know more about what efforts is this company doing. So that's a very good driver to look at, deploying a sort of a passport that helps you inform the consumer more. But then it's an extremely versatile tool, a digital passport, because it can do all the other things we talked about before as well. It can help you map your supply chain better, make it more visible, safeguard the authenticity of your product and product diversions. But it will also help you in a litany of supply chain issues you might expect in the future, and you will probably have today, by making your supply chain more granular, more resilient, having much better overview of where your products are. And in addition to that, the FDA is also pushing quite hard for a tech-enabled traceability as a key initiative for safer products to consume, because it will help you with recalls, it will help you with taking products out of the market in case something happens. And also in the US, we expect the mandatory battery passport to be deployed as well, relatively soon.
Yeah, there's so much we could be talking about. It's definitely something affecting all industries, all consumers. I think this is really critical. I don't know if our audience has opinions associated with this or how deep you are in it, but I'm guessing some of you might want to know more. Pete, can you talk a little bit about where people can find out more information about what we're doing to help people with end-to-end traceability?
Well, I would say please visit our website. So kezzler.com, KEZZLER.com. You will find lots of information there, case studies, also about traceability, digital product passports, and of course also interesting information about our partnership with Rockwell Automation. It's all there. So please visit, drop us a line if you want to hear more, and we'll be more than happy to reach out and contact you.
Yeah, and if you happen to be at Rock Live this week, there are going to be sessions, I think, every day.
Every day.
And I think there's also a webinar coming up in September with Microsoft, Kezzler, and Rockwell, highlighting a recent Forrester report, too, on the topic. So stay tuned for that. And I want to thank you, Pete, for joining me here today.
Pleasure.
Great topic. I want to thank you for joining us as well. And if you want to get more information on this topic, you can click the link in this video. I'm Beth Parkinson, signing off from Rock Live. Stay tuned for more information about Kezzler, Rockwell, and end-to-end traceability and supply chain. Thanks for joining.
Thank you. Thank you.